Hello and welcome to my video on how to make yellow Spanish rice. This rice is made with turmeric, which is an excellent herb and offers lots of health benefits. You could find even Dr. Oz talking about turmeric and its health benefits. For one, I believe it reduces inflammation, and it's also good to include herbs like this in your cooking. So that's what I'm doing here, making yellow Spanish rice. Now this is the rice that my family used to enjoy a while back, but this rice has a lot of additives to it, and for those of us that are trying to be more organic and more healthy, it might be a good idea to get away from things like MSG and other additives that's found in things like this Goya rice. So for quite some time I was looking for alternatives to the yellow Spanish rice that Goya put out that tasted as good, or if not better. And this is what I came up with, and I think it's really good. Probably, as far as I'm concerned, much better than the Goya rice. Now to make this, we're going to be using some chicken broth. Now I use the organic chicken broth because a lot of chicken broths also have other additives to them, including MSG. So I choose to go with the organic chicken broth for my turmeric rice. Alright, this is how I make my yellow rice, my turmeric rice. What I have is some chicken broth, some turmeric, onion powder, garlic powder. I have I'm using basmati rice and olive oil. Now, I'm going to use basmati rice with liquid, in this case going to be chicken broth, to whatever the directions say on the particular rice that you're using. In this rice, I have 2 cups of rice that I'm browning in this pot in some olive oil. I coat the bottom of the pan with olive oil, and I'm browning this rice. And this particular rice is to use for every cup of rice, 1 3/4 cup of liquid. So I got 2 cups of rice, and that makes 3.5 cups of liquid. To that, after this is browned, I'm going to be adding a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of garlic powder. I'm just going to basically not even measure it, just sprinkle some of it in. But the turmeric, says for yellowing rice, add 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon. And I'm going to be adding someplace in between those, something like 1/4 teaspoon. If you put too much, it's overpowering. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to stir this and make the rice a little brown in the olive oil. Like that. Okay, and when I add the chicken broth, it's going to sizzle, so be careful. That's only 2 cups of chicken broth, so I'm going to be adding some more. So I have a total of 3.5 cups. So you put 2 cups in. I got another 1.5 cups. I'm going to add that as well. As far as garlic powder is concerned, Use the old Sicilian method, like that. onion powder, same method, like that. And I'm going to get a spoon for the turmeric. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, so for the turmeric, I have a quarter spoon. I'm going to put that in, and I'm going to stir it around, see what I think. You can see the water starts to turn yellow from that. I might just put just a little tiny bit more. I have my 1/8 of a spoon in here. It's not even full. Just going to add that and stir that in. I'm going to let that come to a boil. I also have this here sea salt. Just going to put a little bit of that in. And that's it. Now, you can put some salsa in here as well. Only thing is, if you put salsa in, I would say maybe reduce the chicken broth a little bit, because the salsa has moisture in it as well. And it might be a good idea to reduce that if you put reduce the chicken broth if you put salsa in. So we're going to let this come to a boil, and then we're going to cover it. You know, the great thing about making this rice is we used to use the Goya whenever we wanted like a Spanish rice, and you know, that has all kind of MSG and everything else that you probably don't want in your rice. So we've been looking for a while, you know, what to do to make a nice yellow rice, and through some trial and error and modifying things, I've come up with using, you know, organic chicken broth that has no MSG in it, and some spices. Just a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of salt, and some turmeric. And turmeric has a whole lot of health benefits for you. So if, you know, I always like to incorporate herbs that are healthful for you medicinally in my cooking, you know. I'm going to let that come to a boil. Crank up the heat a little bit, let it get to a little bit more of aggressive of a boil. And then we're going to cover it. There you go. Then we're going to cover it and lower the heat. Be right back. Alright, the heat is now lowered and covered, and we're going to put the timer on here for 20 minutes. See how we do at 20 minutes. Alright, we'll check on that in a little bit. Alright, we're done. Let's take a look at what we got here. Looks good, right? Get a fork and I'll fluff that. Fluff it with the fork. See that? Perfect rice every time. Nice and light and delicious. Alright, so that's it, yellow rice. Better than Goya. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video, and you can see how we can use medicinal herbs that taste great and incorporate them into our diets and our food to have overall better health. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you like what you're seeing, and check out my blog at www.cooking-italian-recipes.com. Take care.